Hello learners, in today's video we'll talk about an editorial which says about the greenwashing in Indian Railways. Before and all, we have seen that greenwashing is something associated to the corporates or industries and all such. But associating this particular word to Indian Railways, which is like a public infrastructure, we'll try to analyze in this. In today's video, there are two things which we will understand. Firstly, what are the hidden costs of greenwashing? See, our Indian Railways have grandly claimed that we will be promoting sustainable, will be using renewable energy, will stick to the environmental goals as per the global norms. Such kind of claims we have attained. But critics say that simply the Indian Railways are trying to greenwash. So this particular thing, is it a myth or a reality? So this particular question we'll try to answer in this video with relevant data. Before starting, as I always say that any topic you have to link that with the syllabus. That is when you can remember or you can at least jot down the points in that particular question whenever necessary. So coming to our essay topics, this particular topic you can take as an example or at least a paragraph where you can mention about the sustainable development in public infrastructure or any question asked related to this. You can use this as an example. And the impact of greenwashing and environmental goals. One, obviously your corporates will come as an example. Second, this particular video will come as an example. In our GS3, environment and climate change, a particular topic is dedicated in this particular syllabus of the exam. So it's very key important. It lies very important for us to analyze this. And to give a dynamic kind of an example lies an enriched answer. Then, infrastructure and sustainable development goals. Such kind of topics you can give this particular topic as an example. And also you can use this thing as a case study. Use Indian Railway sustainability claims as a case study for greenwashing. See, experts or critics come up or write an article only when there are relevant data to be criticized or at least to be questioned. Without that, nobody is going to do just like that vaguely. So this can be a best case study to mention, saying that in so and so article or so and so expert or so and so organization has said this particular thing. Now we'll get into the topic. So exactly what is greenwashing? This is a PYQ. If we know this particular term has been associated, if you are done properly the previous year question analysis, you'll understand the important or the theme associated to this particular word. So what exactly greenwashing? See, since the world is inclined towards climate change, sustainability, and also they're trying to create a fund so that the climate change goals or the climate change actions can give an efficient kind of an effort. So when that kind of demand is rising, obviously we'll try to alter. Some people very profit ridden, they'll try to alter certain kind of things. We know that when we talk about organic food or a food which is chemical free, there is also a market which will deal with the adultery. Just saying that will do. Yeah, we'll on the label we will write that this no preservatives or no sugary items are been associated. But they'll not mention very smartly, they'll not mention what are the ingredients. So when you're doing such kind of activities, just to portray you're supporting some certain kind of goal, but at the behind, you're doing what you have to do in a very cheap rates or to gain profits. You're doing whatever action you have to do. Such kind of actions when you do regarding the climate change or sustainability, that is called your greenwashing. So it's a practice of promoting a misleading and exaggerate image of environmental sustainability. Just you're pretending that you're supporting the goals, but at the end you're doing what you wanted to do. Now, so in the context of Indian Railways, this occurs when environmental claims. We've claimed very grandly and so far we have done certain kind of things, good things also. We will see what are that things, how far we have achieved, but some other kind of claims are kind of exaggerating. That is why the question has arisen. And that environmental claims are made or they do not hold up to the scrutiny or they lack the tangible benefits. In the Indian Railways, when you are claiming environmentally that we are doing or we wanted to align to SDGs or climate change activities or bring down the carbon emissions, we are claiming on paper, we are saying we are setting the targets, but there are no tangible benefits or either they lack the scrutiny. So that kind of scenario is called greenwashing in Indian Railways. Now, what are the initiatives actually been claimed by the Indian Railways that we will be supporting climate change in the railway sector? First of all, we have claimed very grand claims. First of all, we said that we'll be electrifying our trains. So 100% electrification by 2030 is what we claimed. And so far, as of March 2024, we have attained 85% of routes which are electrified. In the further slides, we will see what is exact problem in this particular claim. First, we will see what are the targets set by the Indian Railways. Next, we said about net zero target. The objective, we would be achieving net zero carbon emissions by 2030. What we did to achieve that? Solar powered stations, bio toilets and use of LED lighting in the trains we have implemented so that we can achieve this goal. We'll see what is the backlash in the further slides. Next, for reducing the plastic, we have brought policies which will be eliminating single-use plastic in trains and stations. Next, for conserving water, we said that we'll be installing water recycling plants and rainwater harvesting systems so that the water can be conserved, stored and used properly in the railways. So these are the some claims which we have claimed very highly, very grandly. We said that we would be doing. Now we will see the data. Now what happened? Where is this greenwashing appearing from when you are claiming such kind of things very grandly? First of all, in the electrification claim, what is a hidden cost is to shift from your diesel to electricity. Yeah, direct emissions will reduce, but this particular electricity, where are you generating from? It is coming from 70% of your electricity is coming from coal-based electricity. Don't you think this is a major problem of the emission? So this merely is shifting emission rather than eliminating. You're just shifting the route or the mode of the emission, but you're not eliminating anything over here. So indirect carbon footprint remains high due to dependence on non-renewable sources. Major problem in this particular claim. Next, solar power projects. What is a hidden cost? For promoting this particular project, we have contributed only a small fraction to the total energy needs. What is the data? As of 2024, it is saying that the renewable capacity is only about 200 megawatts, which is comparatively to the annual requirement of 20 billion units. You are giving only this much of megawatts. Actually, the requirement is this, and you are saying we would be doing the solar power project throughout the Indian Railways. You are saying about the electrification. There is no match at all. When you are trying to electrify, what kind of electricity, from where is that electricity generated from? Through which means, if you are talking to generate that electricity from your solar projects or some kind of renewable projects, but you are aligning only little, very small amount of actually what it is required. Very negligible amount you are providing rather than providing what is the required thing. Now, when you're talking about bio toilets, what is the hidden cost? Installed to reduce the water discharge are not always operational, and also they are maintained very improperly. We've seen very high failures of clogging, such a kind of all the dust there, everything we've seen. The management is not good at this particular thing. Now, we talked about plastic-free campaigns. Now, despite the bans on the usage of plastic, there's lack of enforcement and lack of alternatives. So, what is the data saying? According to 2023, it has found that 60% of the stations still experience the plastic waste accumulation. So, there is mismatch in the reality and on the paper. And very important now, this is one more irony over here. The green certifications for railway station. It is like to promote the practices so that the stations can operate and the infrastructure can be kind of environment friendly. Who are the bodies certifying this? Your IGBC, which is Green Building Council, Indian Green Building Council. This will award the certification, and who will assess? CII and other some kind of bodies will assess. Now we'll see what is the certification criteria. Here lies the problem. Energy efficiency should be one criteria. Water management, waste management, air quality, and passenger amenities. They have also, these are the criterias, and they have also certified some stations like our Secunderabad station, Varanasi station, which have attained the platinum rating, and New Delhi railway station, very ironically, New Delhi railway station has received the gold rating. They have given criteria, they have also rated off. Now we will see what is the challenge over here. Yeah, it is benefited at the long run, and it will reduce the carbon footprint, and it is efficient. It's okay. What is the challenge? The greenwashing certifications may not reflect actual sustainability practices. The criteria which you've given, that is just like what is actually to be done. It is not the eligible or the required criteria over here. And the maintenance issue, just to get that certification for some period, we know when a politician enters the street, how grandly we decorate the street until he or she passes by. After he or she is gone, the sewage will be running, the slums will be going on, and all kind of honks, everything will be happening. So some kind of beautification will be done only for certain period. After that is gone, there is no proper maintenance. And high initial cost, investment in infrastructure upgrades, it's a very highly costed. So this has to be properly, thoroughly checked. Yeah, certifying certain things or to give an award, they can do better. They can perform better later on. That kind of competitive kind of environment, if you create, they'll do it. But you have to put a proper eligibility criteria and see to it that they are not done just for to gain the certificate, but in actual reality, they are to be done. Now, what is the key data? Electrification progress, which I have said, over 85% routes are being there, but whatever are done, coal-based or coal-generated electricity is only high. Carbon emissions, they have emitted 6.84 million tons of carbon dioxide in 2022, which is a slight decrease from the previous year due to electrification. But this thing, to completely come down or to meet the targets, first of all, you should tackle this particular problem. Next, energy consumption. Annual energy consumption approximately 20 billion units. Renewable capacity is 200 megawatts approximately. Installation only about 1% of the total demand. First of all, this has to be very addressed. We are relying on the data itself. We are not saying vaguely. So when analyzing this kind of data, you can at least try to rectify or try to reform. Now, the bio-toilets thing, approximately 73% of the passenger coaches will have bio-toilets, but maintaining them is very important. So, we've seen the data associated, what are the claims we have done, where are we lying, and what are the hidden cost of that certain claims which we have done so far. Now, what is the impact? Environmental impact is there. Obviously, shifting pollution sources without reducing overall emission, it is nothing doing, but it is exaggerating. Continuous dependence on fossil fuels. Until and unless we see or we tackle the problem for where electricity is being generated, this electrification thing will lie as a vague. The financial cost. Obviously, misallocation of funds, a major problem in India towards symbolic initiatives. We have to see to it that the funds are aligned or given properly and they are being used for the purpose which has been allocated to. The public trust will be gone. When you are trying to do greenwashing, the public trust will be gone. They'll question you like the article is questioning. Missed opportunities. Potential genuine investments you will miss when you do such kind of things. What is the way forward? Genuine renewables you need to depend. First of all, when you're trying to do something, you do not just shift the energy or do not just shift the mode of doing a bad thing, but actually genuinely sit and analyze how it can be done properly. Then we need to monitor in the first place and we need to be accountable if something goes wrong. Then sustainable waste management has to be there. We have to improve the efficacy of the bio-toilets and the plastic reduction measures. And we have to be very transparent in the reporting to the public. We need to do this kind reporting to the public so that we get criticized, and that criticisms we work and we try to grow. So this kind of analysis will give us the difference, or we can distinguish between the real sustainability from just the symbolic actions. So this kind of real sustainability from symbolic action is what we have understood from this video. Thank you.